All right, so it looks like there's been some developments with the relationship between South Africa and the USA because apparently the DA went to visit Washington, D.C. and Trump and the Trump administration and have gotten a kind of a clear direction of where to go. The question is whether or not South Africa will follow suit or even do what America is asking.
Listen properly.
When you get into a taxi, you sit down before you get in.
Did I hear that correctly? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Newsflash. I'm your host, Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. Trump administration wants to cut a deal with South Africa on race-based laws, DA says after Washington visit. So as I said, the DA visited Washington, D.C. and Trump's administration. Here's what DA's MP Emma Powell had to say about the meeting. We were received well, but it's very clear that attitudes towards South Africa have hardened and that the Trump administration is going to require very targeted action in terms of fixing the relationship. They are a lot more transactional. They want a deal. We're not sure what that deal looks like, but what we were told is that we want action on Expropriation Act on race-based laws and on South Africa's relationship with their enemies, so countries like Iran. Now, it's hard to really say, who am I kidding? I don't think the ANC is going to budge on that at all.
Not a chance.
I mean, just look at what Julius Malema recently said in Parliament when they were debating the whole US aid and what they're going to do about it.
We will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not.
Now, I know Julius is not in power, thank goodness, but I think he is saying what everyone else is thinking in that room, with exception to maybe the DA and some other parties, because IFP was definitely against the Expropriation Act.
The IFP opposes the Expropriation Act, but not because we reject land reform, but because we reject reckless policy making. Section 25 of the Constitution already allows for land expropriation when necessary, but it must be done with compensation to ensure economic stability. The current Expropriation Act is flawed and risks driving South Africa into further economic hardship. We support transformation, but not destruction.
Now, I still don't trust IFP 100%, but going back to what Julius said, I've said it before on this channel, politicians tell you what they want to do. And personally, I think the ANC feels the same way, whether or not it's under Cyril's administration or another president. And they may not say it now because maybe Cyril is keeping everyone quiet, but Cyril's not going to be president forever. And who knows what the next president of the ANC will do or say about the Expropriation Act. They might be even more radical. And as for the DA, I don't know. I feel like they've had many opportunities to be a lot more, how do you say, aggressive? Not sure that's the right word, but I just feel that them going to Washington was a way of them saying like, hey guys, look over here, we're trying to fix things too. Almost like they're trying to save face. In other words, more of a publicity stunt than actually doing anything. And it seems like Trump administration is going to cut South Africa from the AGOA agreement, which could really harm South Africans. But there's no doubt right now that tensions are quite high between South Africa and the USA. And while some of this might look like bullying from the USA, I don't think it is. The USA frowns upon other countries that go in a communist direction, and that's exactly where South Africa is going. Communism is not a good thing for anyone. Contrary to what some people believe, I do think that the Trump administration wants South Africa to be prosperous. It wants it to have a great economy because if it does, there's more trading that happens between the two countries, which means they both benefit. And that's just one example of how things could be better. Imagine we had less tariffs on things. Imagine iPhones weren't so expensive, or cars, or other goods that were transported between South Africa and other countries for that matter. It's the ANC's horrible policies such as BEE and other tariff policies and red tape and all that stuff that makes things so expensive in South Africa. And I'm just touching one side of the argument here. Better policies, or rather less regulation, would open the door for more opportunities, or job opportunities specifically. A freer market always equates to a more prosperous nation. And we all know how much the ANC actually doesn't want its people to be prosperous, because that would mean they'd be out of business.
Exactly.
Only time will tell with which direction South Africa will decide to go in, but I think as long as the ANC is in power, even if it's just 40% in power, I don't think much is going to change. While I still have you here, please consider becoming a member, ladies and gentlemen. It goes a long way to supporting the channel and helping me produce content like this. There's a lot of exclusive perks, so please go check out that join button at the bottom of this video. If you can't become a member, then please consider giving a super thanks, or Sasa thanks as we call them on this channel. And don't forget to comment what you think about all this. Do you think South Africa needs America? Do you think America is bullying South Africa? Or do you agree with me? Let me know in the comment section. Let's have a discussion about it. While you're there, leave a like on this video, share it far and wide, and subscribe to the channel. I've got more content coming your way. And with all that being said, thanks for watching. Your Newsflash is in.
Whew.